So those of you who have been around the channel for a while know that my gimmick was like a little bit of a spooky digital ghost gal thing, where I would kind of flash, creepy images and shit on the screen and just kind of, play around with you guys. But there was a report, I'm not too sure from who, but I did see it a couple of days ago, where they were seeing like the top brass in WWE or TKO, whoever the hell is in charge of like the cuts and whatnot, or at least how characters are, received. They were not a fan of the spooky / supernatural characters. I'm not really, I don't want to say like I'm like offended or like taken aback by this too much. I do think like from a corporate level, looking at it as like a business, zeros and ones, and being kind of boring and safe, conservative with it. I do think I see why they would say such a thing, but I guess I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about that. That's a little weird to me. But it makes so much sense now with like, how certain characters might get less and less screen time or be the first on the chopping block in this extreme example, right? So the Wyatt Six, the entirety of them got washed out. Like they got wiped out, removed. They are no longer in the company. And I think that is oof. I think that is a yikes. But at the same time, it's like, for characters like that, you kind of got to be careful with how you book them or how they're presented as performers. Because, like, do we put this spooky team of, like, supernatural horror movie villain murderer guys with gold and just prop them up in front of stuff? Like, there are some people like me who love shit like that, right? Like, if Bray Wyatt was all-time goat for me, one of my all-time goats. Like, he was awesome. The whole aesthetic, everything, I just fucking love it. It's like, when you have a character like The Fiend or like an Undertaker or something, does it make sense for them to go after belts? Like, does it make sense for them to be kind of like a belt or like the corporate sort of thing, right? Like, it's like the corporate spotlight on them. And I'm not saying they don't deserve an accolade or, some type of recognition for their talent or tenure or whatever it is that they're doing and they're being rewarded for. But I do think they could have been in a different spot to let them shine. I think their vignettes are awesome. I think they could be running like interference and stuff in matches, or, just having these crazy backstage angles or furthering plots or being like hired hands in spaces and not tied down too much in angles with like other factions like the MFTs, which funnily enough I think they lost a couple of members too, but like I don't know, and it makes me think about it too. Like I think the Undertaker never looked at the at least in character wise, he never looked at like belts or championships as the thing that he had to hold or in like high regard. Like it was just kind of like a side thing, like a consequence or like a reward that he wasn't really looking for. He just happened to stumble across getting the belt. It's just that he like never wore it around his waist. He just kind of carried it. I'm like, I'm wondering, because like I think, how do I say it? I don't script these, I'm sorry. I think there was potential there. I think they definitely did like, Halloween Horror Nights and all. Like it's a really cool brand, like a really cool set of characters. Maybe they could have had them around for like a movie franchise again, right? And get back into that, the See No Evil thing, right? Like you own these characters, and then at the same time you could have like have them have their alter egos. Or like, their non-Wyatt Six forms, where they can at least still go out there and perform in something, right? While still kind of doing the Bray Legacy thing. Because it looks messy when you get rid of, an entire tribute act of people who, they're kind of, giving it up to someone who passed away. I feel like... The more I talk about it, the more I'm like, I feel like TKO, they kind of just preferred more quote-unquote marketable athletes, like the conventionally attractive or like the super buff or the the very curvy model-esque figures. they kind of favor more of fighters and athletes who they feel believable in mainstream media appearances, and I guess you can't really send like a Nikki Cross in that costume to like a morning show or something, right? But like historically, the supernatural like cartoonish acts like the Undertaker or Kane or the Fiend, they've been like, you know, they've been out there enough to at least get some sort of attention on them. And I guess modern day executives find, you know, characters like that a little harder to market. I don't envy them, but at the same time, it's like, we could have found a way to make this work. We could have. You guys got a whole iguana man. You got a whole iguana puppet man. Let's see. And it does almost feel like the new UFC influence is definitely changing presentation for WWE. Like, since the merger, we've become more sports oriented and grounded, and I think that more grounded approach to things makes it so supernatural characters just kind of don't have a space anymore, which sucks, because I'm a fan of, like, you know, cut the lights and then I appear in the ring, or, you know, we blast the damn hologram worms on the mat while you're doing your taunt and now you're scared. Like, really cool spooky entrances with like fog machines to smoke and all that. Like, man. We need, the weirdos need cool wrestlers for us too. I'm a goth girl. I need cool spooky wrestlers for me. I would love that. I think that's cool. I don't think the stripped back, like, sort of sports, you know, UFC style approach with all the stuff, I don't think that makes it feel more legitimate. I feel like it makes it a little bit sillier. It's a little bit sillier because, like, you're the little kid putting on your dad's suit, right? Like, you're Superboy trying to dress up like Superman and slick your hair and stand next to them. Like, everyone knows. Let us have our fun over here. Let us have our fun. We can still have our fun and have guys look like complete badasses. I don't think anybody fucked with Undertaker. Like, Kane was a genuine menace until he wanted to be out there doing funny shit. Like, cool supernatural. But, you know, maybe it's like the streaming and social media era makes, you know, supernatural gimmicks to require like a audience buy-in. But the way you do that is you have them be, you know, creative and cool on these other apps, like, you know, the TikToks or the Twitters and all that. Let them do cool in-character shit with a little bit of production behind it. I think that's cool. I think that's great. I think that would actually be awesome for supernatural characters. But, you know, if you're not being appreciated somewhere, and, you know, and you find out the reason is, you know, based on who you are or how you present yourself, then I don't think it's wrong to also take that as an opportunity to find somewhere that will treat you right, that will let you sort of express yourself in a way that is, you know, that aligns with who you are. Because I feel like we could take this Bray Wyatt tribute act anywhere. Granted, WWE was his home, but we could take this tribute act anywhere. If we're really all dead set on working together to, you know, bring this vision to life, or at least, you know, pay tribute to him, we can pay this homage somewhere else. That'll not use optics as an excuse to wipe us all out at the same time, right? Like, we still can go out there and do something. You know, something that might have worked in the 90s might be meme material these days, but it doesn't hurt to go out there and, you know, try it. Try being the Wyatt Six, or if you gotta rename it to something else, Wyndham Warriors or anything like that. Like, you know, like, try it somewhere else, where you will be appreciated, and you don't have to worry about, you know, riding out this bumpy storm. I feel like the TKO shit, man. It's a bumpy road to try and, you know, keep your feet under you there. But I don't know. Let me know how you guys feel about it. Do you guys care much about these supernatural characters that had, like, you know, the superpowers and all that extra stuff? You've made it all to the end. Let me get a lemon emoji in the comments, and I will give you a heart. I will see you in the next video. Unless you're weird, don't be weird. I've got a Patreon with over 200 hours of bonus content, so if you want to watch that, it is free. Click the link in the description. And yeah, I messed up my outro, so I'm just gonna get the fuck out of here. Thank you so much to those of you that have made it over to the Patreon. I appreciate you.
Trouble, trouble, that's me. Cherry lips and bad energy. Say it once, say it twice, and I'll give it to you all night. I'm your bad, bad, your bad advice.